Hey, welcome to the Velvet Visionaires Podcast, where vision meets execution. This podcast is for the visionaries, the builders, the creators, the seers, those who see beyond what is and build what could be. I'm your host, Walter Williams, and today I'm joined with a man that's been in financial services for more than 20 years, helping families understand one of the most important and most often understood areas of life, which is money.
That's it.
Shawn Mitchell is a regional vice president and financial services representative with over 18 years of experience helping families, professionals, and business owners protect their income, help them build wealth, help them create stronger financial futures, right? Originally, he's from Anniston, Alabama. Shawn earned his degree from Jacksonville State University in exercise physiology before discovering his passion for financial education. After seeing how many hardworking people were making major financial decisions without ever being taught how money works, he dedicated his career to closing that gap. Since then, he has educated hundreds of families across the South, helping people move from confusion to confidence when it comes to their finances. He's also a practitioner of the financial house framework, which teaches families how to build a strong financial foundation through income protection, through emergency savings, through wealth building, through legal protection, and income opportunity. So beyond his professional work, Shawn serves as the secretary of the board and leads community-focused platforms that highlight churches, that highlights entrepreneurs, that highlights local leaders making a positive impact throughout all of Huntsville. Today, we're talking about money. We're talking about mindset, leadership, entrepreneurship, and what it really takes to build a stronger financial future for yourself, your family, and your community. Visionaries, let's give it up for Mr. Shawn Mitchell.
Man, awesome. Hey. Appreciate that, bro.
Yes,
Appreciate that, bro. So, hey, awesome introduction. Yes, sir.
You deserve it, man. And we've been talking for the past couple of days, man, and it's been really good conversation just talking to you. I want to say that, right?
That's what's up.
But before we do anything, man, let's talk about your beginnings, right? Let's talk about where you come from. Let's talk about your journey into, where were you doing in Anniston, Alabama, right? Before you even got into Jacksonville State, what was your upbringing like? Let's talk about that.
Oh, wow, man. So Anniston, Alabama is my home. If you're not familiar with Anniston, it sits between Birmingham and Atlanta, okay? 1 hour and 30 minutes one way, you in Birmingham. Hour and 40 minutes the other way, you in Atlanta, okay? And so it's not a lot going on down there, It was a military town. It was similar to Huntsville, not as big as Huntsville, but we had Fort McClellan there. So lot of history there. That was like one of the go-to places for soldiers, for African-American soldiers. I grew up in the community where they would go to. There was a lot of black businesses and stuff like that called 15th Street, West Anniston. So if you hear anybody talk about West Anniston, 15th Street, that's where I grew up. I literally grew up on 15th Street. And so you have Fort McClellan there. Let me put this right here. You got Fort McClellan that was there. Also, history behind Anniston is a lot of times you hear when people speak of the black history and the boycotts and all that stuff, when they speak about the bus being burned, right? Yeah. The bus says Birmingham, right? Yeah. The bus was going to Birmingham, but it was burned up in Anniston.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. And so I grew up not too far from where that bus got burned. Gotcha. And I always share with people the story. On one side of the hill, all black people lived, and on the other side of the hill was all white people. And we couldn't walk over their part of the hills, and they couldn't walk over our part. Right. We could drive, right? But you couldn't walk. So, man, you've seen a lot of extreme racism, a lot of poverty, a lot of challenges, man, but a lot of great, good people, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Because again, if you mention West Anniston, 15th Street, or Cooper Homes and stuff like that. People say, "Oh man," but it was a lot of great people, man. You know, so single parent household. My mom raised us over there. I didn't never get robbed. I never sold drugs. I never gang bang. You know, all that stuff was accessible to me, but you know, man, we was protected, man. I'm gonna say the Lord protected us, number one. But man, you know, again, just great people, man. Still great people out there. You know, when you just think about it, you reminisce about it. Man, there's a lot of great people over there.
What's some of your fondest memories from growing up back there in Anderson, Alabama, man? If you had to think of one.
I got a lot of them, dude. The fact that we stayed on that road, 15th Street. So on 15th Street, you know, now just remind you, this is the 80s and the 90s. So this is the down part of black businesses, right? Where crack came in and drugs and all that good stuff, man. But you know, on my street we had 3 black service stations. Wow. Gas stations. Wow. On my street, I'm talking about within 2 blocks radius, 2 blocks radius, right? On my street, we had a black grocery store. We had a black taxi cab company called Afro Cab, you know? Yeah, man. Man, we had a motorcycle gang or club that was on the strip, man, and they drove their motorcycles up and down the street. You know, and so black motorcycle, all the black barbers was over there, all the black hairstylists was there, you know, but I seen it go from, you know, functioning to not functioning at all, where it just went bad. So man, just being able to see that, walk up and down the street, you know, and go to those stores, frequent those people, man. Even the housing projects, you know what I'm saying? Go through the housing projects, and man, they had a junior high school. I can't remember the credentials of the junior high school, but it was the black junior high school in Anniston. And they shut it down before I got there. It went to the 8th grade, and when I was going to the 7th grade, they shut it down. And so it was the top African-American high school or middle school, junior high school. And so all that was in the community, man. Like, you know, we had a community full of characters, you know, like just good folks, man, you know, the drunks, the drug addicts, you know, the lady that owned the store, you know what I'm saying? You know, man, if you don't mind me, I'm gonna trip off of this, you know. We had a guy that owned a service station there, right? And so, you know, I've been talking to black business owners and all that good stuff. Sure. And then I just been thinking back to him owning that service station. It was called Mars and Ray, okay? And Mr. Mars, when you would meet Mr. Mars, it could be 8 o'clock right now, pitch black, dark at night, and he would scream, "Good morning." Right? I'm talking about, I don't care good morning. Is everybody happy? And a right back. Man, just awesome guy, awesome person. Man, he made you smile, man. And what we knew him for was for that. We joked about it, but man, we always noticed how much money he walked around with. Like, he didn't carry a wallet. It looked like he had a case that was in his pack. And he'll pull it out, it'd be a wad of money like that. Yeah. And we stayed in the hood. We stayed in the neighborhood. And this is what was cool about it, you know, and you know, and I think about this with black businesses. When you would pull up to a service station, right? He'll check the air of your tire, he'll check your oil, clean your windshields, and put gas in your car. He did all that, man, for like 75 cents, 50 cents a gallon, right? But I remember later in my life, in the 90s, I might have been in high school or something like that. And we started going to the gas station across the railroad tracks down the street, the Chevron, right? And he had a 76, whatever those stores, the 76. But we started going to the Chevron, and you go over there, and his gas over there at the Chevron was 65 cents instead of 75. But they didn't pump you. They didn't pump your gas. They didn't clean your windows. They didn't check your oil, and they didn't put no Aryan time.
Yeah.
And I went by, man, and this story stuck with me. That's the reason, you know, I try to frequent my black-owned business. I went by there and needed some air on my tire one day. Yeah. And Mr. Morris said, hey, man, it's going to cost you $1. I said, what?
Right.
Because we're so used to getting it for free.
Man.
He's like, yeah, man. He's like, you drive by me every day over the past the railroad track to go get gas. Yeah. You pay them for air. Right. You're going to pay me for air. And so I was so mad at him, man. Yeah. But I said to myself, as I got older, as I started doing business myself, I started saying, I understand. You see what I'm saying? He was there for us. Yeah. You know, all that stuff, man. I stayed across the street from the insurance office. Yeah. Like the insurance office was across the street, like literally across the street from me. Then the projects, right? Then the game room, you know. So just imagine, man, we seen all that or had access to all that as kids, but we seen the community lose all that at the same time. So, man, just a lot of good memories about Anderson. It's always home. There's nothing there, you know what I'm saying, today, you know, a lot of poverty, a lot of crime, a lot of shacked up houses and stuff like that, man. But them my folks. You know what I'm saying? Them my family. That's home. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, all right, no sweat. So you did the Edison, and then you went. What got you into exercise physiology, right? That's what it was, exercise physiology?
Yeah, exercise phys, man. So, man, I've always been a fat boy, right? You know, but I always worked out, man. I'm talking about, I could think back to waking up early in the morning, man, and just working out, you know. I guess it was always a desire to lose weight or to be in shape, you know, as a kid, you know, and I became very familiar with the body. And so I can't remember the lady name, but she still comes on TV. Suzanne, it's something I seen her on QVC like a while back, and she gotta be in her 70s, and she still look good. Okay. I used to wake up in the morning and work out with her. Used to be some guys on the beach in California. I used to work out with them, you know. And so I always been around gyms, man. So when I was in high school, man, me and a buddy, we used to wake up early in the morning and go work out. And the dude that owned the gym, man, I took a liking to him and he took a liking to me. And man, I said, man, I'm gonna do this, you know? And so I did it initially to become a chiropractor. Okay. That was my whole goal. Okay. But things changed, you know what I'm saying? When I finished school, I was gonna have to move to outside of Atlanta. Excuse me, they didn't have no dorms or anything like that where I had to move to, and I was gonna have to pay for apartment rent, and then I had a little girlfriend, and so I wasn't trying to walk away. Yeah. So had ties, man. So that's how the whole exercise physiology thing come up, man. So that's something I've been doing all my life. Yes, sir.
So how did you go from exercise phys to financial services?
Financial service. So, man, this is gonna trip you out a little bit. So from exercise phys, so I moved here to Huntsville, Alabama first, okay? I was working at a gym in Rainbow City, Alabama, which is outside of Anderson, Gaston, and so forth.
You got a wild history in Rainbow City, Alabama, too, man. I don't know if you ever read into the history of Rainbow City, Alabama.
Like what?
Yeah, they got a lot of mafia type ties in Rainbow City.
Oh,
I think it was either Rainbow City or Phoenix City. I could be wrong. I apologize. I think it was one of those.
Rainbow. From Rainbow City when I was there, during the time I was there, that's where the people that was white that had money. Okay. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. They lived there. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So the gym I worked at was like the country club gym, where the who's who was there, the judges and the lawyers and the doctors and stuff like that. And so I don't know. I couldn't. You know, man, it's so much stuff be hidden from you that you don't know until you know, like if you didn't know about Piedmont, Alabama. You ever heard of Piedmont, Alabama?
I heard his name, but I don't know anything about it.
That's where the mafia stuff happened. Oh yeah, man. It's on like not Lifetime, but one of them history channels. I haven't had cable in years, but they did an insert in it, man, where like these families been feuding for. It was the marijuana capital of the South. Did you know that?
I did not.
Jokers don't know it.
I did not know that.
Piedmont, Alabama was the marijuana capital of the South. The South. Yeah. And so it was two families was up there feuding.
Okay.
Right? Okay. Now this was it was the A&E or whatever. Yeah. Two families was feuding. Alleged one family kidnapped another family member, killed him. He was a part of the city officials, right? Allegedly buried him on a road that they made.
Wow. Come on.
Another one, I can't remember which one of the family owned a nightclub, a country western nightclub. Okay. Walked out the nightclub one morning, 3-4 o'clock in the morning, and found his buddy dead in a limousine.
Wow.
Yeah, man. Piedmont, Alabama, man. Research, man. Look, it was a girl that used to work with me at the gym. Young white lady, and she was like, "Yeah, we went canoeing down such and such and she's like, it was a man just sitting there in a rocking chair with a shotgun." I was like, you know what? And she's like, he had a pit bull. I was like, if you would have got out there, he was gonna stick that dog on you. He gonna shoot. She's like, why? I was like, cause he probably had weed growing up there. Yeah. So Piedmont, Alabama, man. But I never heard about Rainbow City being that way. But it could be, man. Cause man, whatever, wherever you got money and it's flowing. Come on. You know what I'm saying? It's somebody there doing some dirt. But man, when I was there, man, just a lot of great people, man. I was there, man, just working in that gym, man. I met a lot of great people, man. A lot of helpful people, man. Just, I can't say nothing bad about it, man, because he gave me a chance. I had been working a job. I was working at a school as a director of student services. And I walked in there one day and they just told me it was my last day. Hey, man, turn in the keys. You know what I'm saying? Right. Then they asked me about that new baby we just had that was like 4 months old, and the new car and the house. And, they didn't ask me nothing about that. And so luckily, Walter, I had started working at that gym part-time before I lost that job at the school. And man, I never forget going to tell the dude, man, that owned the gym, his name Mr. Campbell. I said, Mr. Campbell, I was like, man, I lost my job today. And he tilted his head. He said, really? It's like, yeah. He's like, well, sound to me, you need to make some more money, don't you? I was like, yeah. He's like, well, how about I give you this? If you do this, that, and that, I'll pay you this, that, and that. He like, that's enough money? It's like, yeah. And so, man, it basically replaced what I was making at the school. And man, I worked for him for probably about 3 or 4 years, man. And so it's a blessing, man. It's just some good people, man. That's why you just always got to speak to people and talk to people, man. Because I never forget applying for that job. I said, no way in the world they're going to hire me. They ain't got no black members. They didn't have, when I worked there, probably no more than 12 black members. You see what I'm saying? Right. And, most definitely wasn't no African-American employees there. Right. And just never thought that I would fit in. But you never know, man. That's why you be kind to everybody, because you don't know someone's heart. That's right. So that was a blessing.
That's a blessing, man. No, what you said was heavy, man. And two things I want to talk about, right? One is what you just talked about, is the relationships, right? Mm-hmm. One thing that I'm finding in every single one of my interviews that I'm doing with these entrepreneurs is that the importance of relationships. Yeah. And being open and honest. Yeah. Because imagine if you had to walk out of that job and you kept that to yourself. And you never told the manager, you never told your boss, and you told him that this is your situation, and you just gritted through it and bared it. Look how much further behind, or what would you have not had because you suffered through that, right? Yeah. So I appreciate you bringing that out. I find that is one thing I'm learning in all of these conversations, is the importance of opening your mouth, talking, and having those relationships. You know what I mean? And then the other thing is when they gave you the keys, man. When they said, "Give me the keys," how'd you feel?
What, losing that job?
Yeah, man.
Man, it was just crazy, dude.
Yeah.
You know, you never expect that. And it was weird, man, you know, because I work for an African American family, man. It's not their fault that I got fired, you know what I'm saying? I did have a boss that wanted me gone. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But man, I'm gonna tell you what, in Gaston and Rainbow City, I met a lot of great people. That's where I was at when I graduated from college. And this African American family, man, the son, he had group homes and he had a private school for kids with learning disabilities. So him and his wife had the group homes, and his mom was a part of it too. Okay, and so have you ever heard of the Quality of Life medical facilities or anything like that? Ever heard of a lady by the name of Dr. Roberta Watts?
Yeah.
Okay,
Watts, yeah.
That's who I used. That was her son. Her son had those places, and it was weird, man, because when I got fired, one of the sons was walking in the building. He was like, "What's up, Mitch? How you doing?" Because that's how we talk, you know what I'm saying? He's like, "What's up, Mitch? How you doing?" I was like, "Man, y'all just fired me." He was like, "What?" I was like, yeah. I was like, "Y'all just fired me." He's like, "Man, hold on."
Yeah.
And he got on the phone and he called his daddy up, and I guess his daddy was just told us, "Hey, man, you know, we had to let him go." And so, man, he dapped me up, and you know what I'm saying? He's just, man, you know, show some love, and that was it. So it was like one of the weird moments, man. But you know, the situation, man, it was a learning lesson. I said after that, I never work for someone to allow somebody to fire me again. You see what I'm saying? Because the lady that was above me, you know what I'm saying? I guess I wasn't her favorite person in the whole wide world. You know, she played more of a mother figure. I didn't go along with that role. And, you know, she made the decision to, you know, tell them that she didn't need me no more. And, man, I had spent what was crazy, what was surprising to me is that whole summer, it happened in summer, then when school year started, first day of school, she had me fired. Oh, yeah. And that whole summer, man, this lady, her husband was dying. And I had to pass her house because I lived in, you know, I didn't live in Gaston then. Okay. And so I would have to pass her house to get home. Okay. And I would call her, take her mail if she need mail, you know what I'm saying? You need anything, you know what I'm saying? Like the whole 9 yards, just looking out to understand. But I was running the whole show by myself. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? And for that to happen, you know, I felt like, hey, if you didn't need me or if you didn't want me, you could have just said, "Hey, Shawn, we're gonna do away with you," not just let me walk in. Right. And it was all crazy, man, because I stayed like a block from the school. You know what I'm saying? And that morning, I woke up and I told my wife, "I'm gonna walk to work today." Yeah. I walked to work, man. It was just a block, right? 2 blocks. I walked to work, man. Then I had to call my wife and tell her to come pick me up. Oh, man, it was so jacked up, man. The lady called me down there. She was like, "Hey, I want you to come down here to Human Resources." She's like, "I want you to come down here and come to the office real quick." And so I'm thinking, it was payday. Just how jacked up it was, man. Yeah. When I think about it, it was payday. And, you know, it was always my job to pick up the checks and pass out the checks. Okay. And so I'm thinking I'm going down there to pick up the check. Dude, bro, give me them keys. She like, as soon as I walked, and she was somebody that was cool too, that, you know, I used to talk to and stuff. And she's like, "Hey, Shawn, I'm so happy. It's good to see you. Today, your last day. Give us the keys."
Heartbreaking.
We doing away with your position.
Heartbreaking.
Such and such said she don't want that position there no more and don't need you no more. Yeah. And so, man, you know, it made me make the decision, say, "Hey, look, I'm never going to allow anybody to have control over how I feed my family and how I take care of myself, because people don't care." Right. You know what I'm saying? To me, you know, hey, again, the best conversation besides fire me, I could have manned up and said, "Hey, y'all fire me," you know what I'm saying? But, you know, that would have been the best conversation. Say, "Hey, Shawn, we're not going to let you work. You know, we don't need you, or we can't afford you, or whatever." And then I moved on. Or they could have put me in another part of the company. But, man, I thank God. Yeah. Boy, I'm going to tell you something. I thank God, because if they wouldn't have fired me, I may still be there trying to hang out just to make that paycheck.
Yeah.
And I hated that job.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say I hated the job. I hated the people that I was working with. I liked the people I was working for, the African American family.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the kids.
Yeah.
I enjoyed what I did. But the people that was working around me,
and you said you would never work for anybody else again. Is that what got you into financial services? Is that what got you? I know you said you stayed working at the gym for the next 3 years.
3 years.
And then you came to Huntsville after that. Is that kind of what that was like your mantra in the back of your head? It was like. So
I'm gonna give it all to you, man. So
all right.
I was working at the gym in Rainbow City. My job was every week. Part of my job, because I was assistant manager, was to put up. He would have motivational slogans on his billboard on the highway.
Okay.
And my job was to pick out one and hang it up.
Okay.
Every week, every Monday. Wow. That was my job, right? And so there's one, and it was two-sided, right? You had to put whatever you put on one side, you had to put it on the other side, right? Okay. And so Walter, man, I put up this slogan. It said, "You would never know what's out in the sea if you never step away from the seashore." Okay? And so I put it up on one side, I step off the ladder, I sat there and I looked at it. Right? I kept saying it. Turn around, put it on the other side.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, mind you, before I had did that, I can't remember the timeline, I had spoke to him about starting a boot camp. That's when boot camps had got popular, right? Exercise boot camps.
Okay.
And man, he looked at me, he said, "Shawn," he said, "that's cool if you want to do that. But if you do something like that, you'll be my competition." Now I wanted to include him and do it at his gym, but he's seen it as competition. He's like, "So I'm gonna let you make that decision." He's like, "If you be my competition, you can't work here, man. I'm just letting you know." Okay. But he was like, you free to stay here if you want to. Yeah. And so I was putting up that sign. I kept reading. And I was like, man, how would I know unless I step away? You see what I'm saying? And so me and my wife, man, I just say in August is her birthday and our anniversary. Me and my wife, we drove up here to Huntsville, man. We just woke up one morning. I said, "Hey, today is your birthday, let's go somewhere. I'm gonna take you out to eat, take you shopping." Yeah. I was like, "Where would you like to go?" And I was like, "Would you like to go to Atlanta or would you like to go to Huntsville?" Okay. And she said, "Let's go to Huntsville. We go to Atlanta all the time." Right. And so we drove up here, Walter. And we went shopping, went out to eat, man. We looked like bums because we just woke up and just left the house. We didn't care. Nobody knew us around here, right? And so we was at IHOP on University. Oh, wow. Right across from Walmart. And I asked, I said, "How would you like to move?" And she said, "I would love to move. I just didn't think you would want to move." I said, "Cool." I was like, "Would you like to move to Huntsville? Or would you like to move to Atlanta?" Yeah. And she said, "I want to move here to Huntsville." And that was August of that year. January, we was actually here. Okay. So I moved here. I had a job. My intentions was to work at this facility, but they was only letting people come in as interns. So I got a wife and kid. Can't do no intern work. I got to get a paycheck. Right. So move here, man. Start working at this health club, this gym, man. Again, man, the gym always been good to me, man. I see. Always, man. I met so many great people here in Huntsville, man. Man, just so many great people, man. And there I was a personal trainer. And man, just met so many great people, dude. I'm just gonna be real with you, dude. Just a lot of good people, man. But started working at this gym, got that job, right? And just a chance of happening. My little girl had started school. My oldest daughter, she's 20 now. She started school. And every day I would take her to school. I would see this brother, another brother. Me and him be the only two brothers pulling up at the same time. Right. And, of course, we would speak to each other and talk to each other. And he had a little boy the same age as my little girl. Okay. But then he had a baby that he would have in an arm carriage thing, right? And so we always dap each other up. I'll open the door for him and we'll talk. And so one day he gave me his business card and he said, "Man, come and see me." Right? Yeah. And so I was familiar with the company because I already had all their products and services because when I worked at the school, they came out, set up all our investment plans, all of our insurance, did our financial services for us. So he said, "Man, cool, come by and see me." And so Man, a whole school year went by. You know how we do each other.
Right,
Yeah. And I never came to see the dude.
Right.
And so the summer program happened, Walter, on the opposite side of town. Okay, we was at Farley Elementary School during the school year, right? Summer program was at off of Billy Cove at Mayfair.
Yeah. You was a
whole side of town.
Right.
I'll pull up with my little girl to get out the car. Guess who pull up the two? Yep. That dude with his little boy. And so, he like, man, look at this.
Right.
He like, how we end up in the same summer program, with our kids. He like, man, when you gonna come by my office? I said, man, don't come in today, man. I see you too much, so I know I gotta come today. And so, man, went in his office, man. It's more. Went into his office. We got to talking and laughing, man, and looking at his pictures, and it was him and his wife. And I said, man, I know your wife.
Yeah.
I done met your wife before. He's like, where you met my wife at? Yeah. I said, at the library. I was like, I'll take my little girl to the library. I never matched the little boy with the lady from the library.
Gotcha.
Because kids are kids, right? And so he's like, yeah, man, she used to take my son to the library for activities all the time. And I was like, yeah, man. And so he was like, man, let me call her up. And so he called her. He had her on speakerphone. She didn't know he was on speakerphone.
Okay.
And he was like, hey. He's like, I'm sitting here with this guy named Shawn. He said he know you from the library. And she was like, I don't know no Shawn.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, she like, is he a big dude, bald headed, with a beard? and he was like, yeah. She's like, oh, I always wanted you to meet him and talk to that dude. And man, that dude is my office mate. He's my manager. He's my mentor. I've been around him for 17 years, man. Wow. And that's how the financial services came with him reintroducing me to the company, sharing with me the services. And off the top, I just asked, man, can I do that? Can I make some extra money doing that? He like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it all happened, man. 17 years. Yeah. Still, he's my off. I share an office with him, and he's my mentor, man. And the grace of God lined things up. And that's how it happened, man.
So what? I mean, you could have done anything, right? I mean, I don't think Uber was a thing back then, but you could have done anything. You could have got a job delivering pizzas if you listen to Dave Ramsey, right? So you could have done anything. So why do that? Why choose that though?
Why financial services? Because at the end of the day, man, everything that was spoken about was everything that I needed, but it was everything that I know that's not introduced to people. Financial services is sold to people. It's never told, right? Especially in our community, right? I always share this story when I first bought a life insurance policy. You remember your first time buying one?
I do.
For real? My mom went like this. My mom called me up one day. She said, hey, look, you married, you got a kid, I ain't paying for your life insurance no more. Come over here tomorrow. My insurance man gonna be over here, right? So I was over there the next day, insurance, because you're gonna do what mama tell you to do, right? Insurance man showed up, big old fat white guy, man, water tobacco on the side of his mouth, big old suitcase, he slamming on the table, you smell like cigarette smoke. He leaned forward, he said, what you want? And my mama screamed from all the way on the other side of the room, get you $10,000 and make sure you can borrow some money from it, right? And man, he sold me that $10,000, right? But he didn't ask me no question. He didn't say, what about your wife? What's going to happen to your wife if you die tomorrow? How will she be able to replace your income? How will she be able to pay off the mortgage? How will she be able to provide? He didn't ask nothing. So if I would have died with that, my wife would have been a total wreck. You see what I'm saying? So, knowing that, man, that I was that person, it made it different. Even with the bank, I remember going to the bank. The lady gave you an envelope, and she said, read what's in the envelope when you get home. And she gave you a sucker, too. Did you read? You ever read what the bank envelope said? We don't, right? But you ate that sucker, though, right? So, the bank envelope tell you, man, what's going to happen with your money in the bank, So knowing that information is never shared, especially in our community, okay, that's what attracted me to it. That, hey, man, I can talk to people. I can teach people something that's going to help them, man. That's going to help them make the best decision financially for their family? Yeah, great question, man.
Nah, I think, man, we started talking about life insurance, and I didn't intend for it to be this, but I remember I didn't have life insurance, man. I think my mama probably had a policy on me for a while, and then my mother and father, and then I think I was probably 24 years old. I had my own child by the time I realized I had to have some life insurance. Now, I wasn't 24, I apologize. I was 30 years old when I realized I needed life insurance.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and I remember sitting down with a friend and his wife, and they were walking me through the process, and like, oh, okay, this is life insurance. I didn't know nothing about life insurance. So, yeah, it's important to have, man.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
it's something that you don't think about until you have a real conversation about it. You see what I'm saying? And it's who you have that conversation with too, because there's plenty of life insurance hustles out there. You see what I'm saying? Where people are always trying to, hey, you do this and you can leverage this and you can buy a house and then you turn around and you get this and you can buy a part of China. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's a conversation that needs to be had. But then also it should be an educational factor to it where people can make the best financial decision for your family. You see what I'm saying? And what's happening, Walter, today that you see a lot of, that is so much on YouTube, so much on Instagram, that is confusing. And man, people, I meet so many people, they buying the wrong products, you know, or they going on the internet. They going on the internet, man, and buying it from, you know, the internet, you know, saying that then somebody died, your family did, the dude over there in India picking up the phone, and he thought that, and you crying because your mama done died, and you can't understand. You in trouble, man. You in trouble, man. So people don't realize just the value of being educated, having an accessible agent that can actually help you out. Yes, sir.
Let me ask you this. What are some of the biggest misconceptions you see that people have when it comes to money? When I say people, I'm talking about us. What are some of those biggest misconceptions that people have when it comes to money?
That we don't have it? Jokers got money. Jokers got money, man. You know, you just got to look at it. You know, as much as we try to act, you know, they won't. The perception is that we don't have money. We just don't know what to do with our money. Man, just think about how many kids you see today, like during prom, that had the money sleeve. Crazy. You see what I'm saying? Crazy. Or the money phone. Yeah. Where you get that at? Walking out of a project door. You see what I'm saying? Or an apartment door. Or it don't matter. You know? Just think about the whole prom thing, man. People got Lamborghinis and all. Folks got money, they just don't know what to do with it. You see what I'm saying? And that's the biggest misconception that I believe when it comes to money. I mean, finance, money, is that people act as if though we don't got it. We just don't know what to do with it. And because the reason why we don't know what to do with it is that we don't have enough people that look like us talking about it. You see what I'm saying? I literally, Walter, went to a class, right? And it was mostly African Americans. It's an organization I'm a part of financial service representatives, and it was African Americans there, right? It was an African American club. But the guy that came to speak was a white guy. And he stood in there and he said, I have been in this business for 30 years. And over my 30-year career, I've only known 5 black licensed financial service representatives. So what that tell you? We ain't got enough people that look like us talking about it. So if someone was talking that people could trust and, you know, they could put their finger on, I guarantee you that instead of having that money sleeve, you see what I'm saying? That kid that went to the prom, his family would have put that money somewhere else.
And you know, bro, like, you think about it, all we do is the value, and I say it like this, the value that you present to the world in general, that we perceive is what you spend, right? You don't have money until you spend it on a brand new car. You don't have money until you spend it on a brand new chain, or a brand new car, a brand new house, or something like that. But that's not really having money, that's spending money. You know what I'm saying? So when do you, I don't know, man. I hate that misconception, and I hate that thought process inside of our community, inside of our people, that you don't you got to spend money to show that you got it. What happens to times when you save that money?
Save money.
You know what I'm saying?
So again, man, it's basically people having the right conversation. You know, we all make money mistakes, and the people that stop making money mistakes, they learn from somebody of what they're supposed to be doing. Right. And so again, there's a lot of information out there, but there's a lot of misinformation out there, so people don't know. Walter, I don't know if you've ever seen this, okay? And you can find this online, and I cannot think of it, right? But I don't know if it was part of Ebony magazine or Jet magazine. I may be wrong, but it's actually a documentary that was made like in the 60s or the 50s, teaching salespeople how to sell to black folks. Yeah, I think I've seen. You seen that? I've seen this, yeah. And so when you say our perception of money is to spend it, that's what that video, that documentary showed, to teach us how to spend it. See what I'm saying? Not how to keep it, not how to roll it over. You see what I'm saying? Right. Bring it to me. Right.
Because it was talking, if I remember, if we're talking about the same video, I think he was saying the black consumer is an intelligent consumer and they want the highest quality this, or they don't want the thing that somebody else has. They want the better thing.
Sell them this way.
That's right.
And so that's real, man. You know, it's still going on. It's still going on today. So, you know, when you mention us, man, it's just that we ain't got people to talk to. You know, you ain't got, you know, when you don't have no one to talk to, and man, when you get to the point where it's confusing, that's what's going on now. It's confusing because people are presenting the hustles. Right. See what I'm saying? Them hustles hurt. Right. They may feel good for a little while, but they'll eventually hurt you. Right. And so we get so cluttered with those hustles that we'll shut down. Yeah. So again, just going back to anything, man, anything that we deal with, I always tell people, if it's given to us or shared with us the most, that means it's a hustle. It's gonna hurt you. You see what I'm saying? Sure. And it's true. You know, it's you can anything. You know what I'm saying? It's a bad medicine, they're gonna give it to black folks first, right? Bad money, information, they're gonna give it to black folks first. We the test. If it work, hey, great. If it don't work, man, they all dead. That's how they see it. So, you know, man, that's the challenge with financial services, because, you know, today everybody is talking about being financially literate behind a hustle. You see what I'm saying? Man, just show me how to protect what I got. Go ahead.
No, you good, bro. I think, and this is my last question on this topic. So, if you had one tactical thing that you could tell families out there right now, what mistakes do you see the most? Is it the education piece? Is it the lack of life insurance? What is that one mistake that you see families making the most?
Okay, so man, I'm gonna share this with everybody. Contrary to everybody's belief, more than half of African Americans do own life insurance. Okay. More than half, like almost 62% of African Americans own life insurance. Okay. But the misconception is what? That we don't, right? That we do all the GoFundMe. Right, again, anything that they want to look bad is going to always come back to who? Yeah, us, right? And so most of us do have life insurance, but here's the deal. What they do know, out of that 62%, more than half of them have the wrong type of life insurance, because it's always sold to us. It's never told. Okay. And so you was ask that question again, man. Because I know I got off on.
No, you should. If it was one mistake that you see families making the most,
not building a financial house, not sharing information. If I could put two, not sharing information with everybody in the family, and not building their financial house. So when I say not sharing information, man, everybody want to be the rich uncle. Everybody want to be the rich auntie. You want to have the nicest car, the nicest house amongst your family. You pull up to the barbecue. Oh, there go Unc. He fresh. Yeah, right. He in the Corvette. You see what I'm saying? You know, he in the Maybach. Yeah. You know, you want to be that person. You pulling up. Everybody at your house, you want to be that person. But you don't want to tell everybody else how to do the same thing. Right. You see what I'm saying? 100%. That's the biggest problem. You should be putting everybody on.
Everybody should have that payback.
Everybody
at 745.
Everybody at the kitchen table. 4th of July come up, everybody sitting out there drinking beer, playing cards and stuff, right?
Yeah.
If you driving a Maybach or Cadillac or Corvette, you should be putting them on to that.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? And so that's one of the most important things, man. But then just building your financial house.
And I don't want you to talk about that.
Oh, you don't? Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
I got a whole card on that.
But those are the two things, man, that I believe that would be great.
Before we came in here, you shared with me a story, right? Well, since we were talking about life insurance, right? You shared with me a story when you experienced something that no parent should ever have to experience, right? Which was submitting your first claim for your unalive child. Right?
Yeah.
So if you could, let's talk about that. If you can share some of that story with me.
Well, man, the unfortunate experience was I lost a child. We lost a newborn child that was like 12 days old. And, a lot of times when I talk to people about buying life insurance and stuff, they always thinking about themselves, right? Well, I ain't gonna die. I'm gonna be all right, But nobody expect to lose a child. But, a lady told me God want baby angels too. So children die. You see what I'm saying? Whether it's like my child, just health wasn't strong enough for him to survive his first couple of days, or, your child in the car and have a car wreck, right? And they don't make it home, or, children have heart attacks, And so we lost our child. He would be 14 in October. But my first death claim was to myself. And so if you guys are not familiar with death claims, when someone passes away, you submit information to the insurance company, which is a claim, and then the insurance company will validate it, and then they send you a check for however much life insurance you got. So I had never paid a death claim to nobody until that point. And so I knew life insurance worked, but I know it worked because during that time, man, we had some real challenges, financial challenges. My wife was actually bedridden before she had the child, meaning that she couldn't work. I had two little girls at home. I was trying to take care of my wife, take care of those two little girls at the same time, trying to make money at the same time, which was hard in sales, which is what I do. And man, I'll never forget, that week or that week, I pulled up into the driveway and the transmission went out in the car. A couple of days later, and my mom was here to help out, and my lights had got cut off. So when that check came in, right, it helped us get back on playing ground. My wife didn't have to go back to work after losing a child. You see what I'm saying? She was able to stay home a couple of weeks, get herself together, and then go back. So see, that's what life insurance do. You see what I'm saying? It's more than a funeral. You see what I'm saying? It's taking care of those people that's left behind. We had 12 days with that baby boy, right? But he took care of us because we was who was left behind financially. You see what I'm saying? And man, that's how it went, man. Yeah.
Understood. No, man, that's a rough one, man. Just to talk about that. I'm sure I can't imagine.
Can't imagine.
So again, I know you going through that process has helped a lot of other people as well, right?
Oh yeah. Because you get it all the time. People don't see value, and it's crazy. Some people don't see value in insuring themselves, but they will insure their children. In actuality, you should be insuring yourself. You gonna go before supposedly. You supposed to go before that child go. And so I get people come and say, "Oh, I want $1 million on my child." And I was like, "How much you got on yourself?" "Oh, 15." Well, if you die, your child will get $15,000. You got a mortgage to pay. You got school to pay. How is he gonna survive with that 15? But you want to make $1 million off of your little baby. It don't work like that. Let's do it the right way, man. But yeah.
So how has that changed the way that you service people and the way that you help people out? I'm sure it's changed a lot, yeah.
Man, you just have a real conversation with folks. You see what I'm saying? You just people want to know. They want to learn, man. They want somebody to just show them how. Again, The hustles are all on Instagram, all on YouTube. People feel realize everybody that you see on there, they trying to sell you something.
Right.
It's a celebrity that talks about insurance. She ain't doing nothing but selling you something because she mentioned her friend to go see.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
All she doing is diverting people over to her friend.
Right.
She's probably a licensed agent herself.
Yeah.
So when the policy get written up by her friend, she get paid too.
Yeah.
But you think she care about what she teaching? She don't. It's a celebrity now, man, that was all on the internet talking about a certain type of insurance product, man. And it wasn't true. And later on, he had to start telling people that he didn't know what he was talking about. You see what I'm saying? That he was misinformed. He had to recover because, man, people go buy stuff because of celebrities. And then he be held accountable for it. And so you just got to I tell people, be careful, man, with Instagram and YouTube. Man, you want to do business with people that you can put your hand on. Can't put their hand on them, man. They all the way in New York, you in Alabama, and you doing investments and insurance with them, man. Stuff go wrong, you can't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? You going up there to New York, you looking for Malik. You know what I'm saying? Well, Malik, man, we got about 100,000 Maliks over here, right here on this block. Where you want to go, son? You know? But go ahead.
Nah, I think this is good. I think that's what you're talking about is heavy. So I do want to kind of get into the financial house. And I know I don't want to take too much of your time. I apologize.
I'm good, man. Whatever you go.
Yeah, so let's talk about the financial house now. I think that makes a good way, right? So tell us about that framework and how you use it and how do you suggest other people to build their houses and what can they do to make sure that they're prepared for life?
Okay. So the financial house is just like this house. You see what I'm saying? It's for coverage. It's for protection. You have a foundation, right? You got a ground that you walk on, right? You ain't got to worry about your feet getting dirty, right? You got a roof over your head. Ain't no rain gonna fall on you, right? Well, your financial house should be built just like your structured house, okay? Your financial home, okay, can be built from day one, the first day that you born. You don't have to wait until you 30. You don't have to wait until you 50. You don't got to wait until you have kids. Right. Your financial home provides stability. Okay. That's what you want, right? I tell people before you do anything, before you invest, before you do crypto, before you get into real estate, you should build your financial house to keep you financially stable. So that when financial problems come up, you got what? Money. So I teach that, and how I teach it is in levels. Level one, first and foremost thing that everybody should have is a life insurance plan, right? I speak of it for income protection to make sure that if the breadwinner passes away, right, mommy or daddy, that money can be replaced. The paycheck can be replaced, right? People don't know you can buy life insurance on your paycheck. People don't talk about that, but you can. You see what I'm saying? You can insure that paycheck. But, and that's what I talk about. So first thing first, man, you get your income protection in place. That's your ground floor, right? It's gonna hold everything else up in your house, right? After you get your income protection in place, the next thing is the second floor should be your emergency savings, right? You don't know when you're gonna lose a job, right? That guy went around and fired everybody. Doge guy, right? Get out of here, right? Keep people from researching him, right? That's what all he did. Did he just disappear, man? But it's crazy, right? But you don't know when you're gonna lose your job or your job gonna lose you, right? So establish emergency savings for your family, okay? 3 to 6 months of your income, okay? Let it be in an interest-bearing account, right? An account that's gonna make you some money. We love the bank, but the bank is just nowadays just a place to store your money, right? It ain't a place to grow your money. But then, along with the emergency savings, you want a wealth building account. Okay, that's your 401k, IRA, your investments, anything that's going to help your money grow through the long run, 30 years from now, 40 years from now. You see what I'm saying? Because again, you want to leave some money behind, right? You want to make sure if when you gone that the grandkids can keep that house. You see what I'm saying? Or they can go buy other houses, right? And so you want to have a wealth building plan in place because that can be passed on from generation to generation. That's what I'm going to say, generational wealth, okay? And so that's your real generational wealth, man, to have a wealth building game plan, okay? Your investments, your stocks, right? Your real estate. You see, all of those are wealth building game plans you can actually live off of. But then along with a wealth building game plan, your next floor would be your legal protection. If you didn't know, the biggest wealth transfer in the world is going on right now. You participated. You told me yesterday. You said, man, my dad left this one of his rental properties, right? And I took it over, right? I'm talking about black folks. We are participating in it. We are the first generation of African Americans that when our parents die, they leaving us wealth. They leaving real estate. They leaving 401ks. They leaving investments. They leaving cars. They leaving jewelry. You see what I'm saying? Their parents didn't leave nothing. But our parents, you see what I'm saying? And so, since that's happening, you want to have legal protection in place. You want to have a will. You want to have a trust in place. You want to have it legally bonded. You want to have a real lawyer. You can't be going on YouTube or going on getting a template on Windows, and printing it out and taking it. And then your cousin pull up and say, man, my uncle told me this house is mine. Then you in court. You in probate court. You lose all your money, man. And so that's what's going on. You want to have legal protection in place because, again, the biggest wealth transfer is happening, and you want to make sure that you legally document it, man. You heard about Barry White? You heard Barry White's story? You did? Okay. So Barry White, he died several years ago. When he died, he had was it a wife or a girlfriend? I think she was a girlfriend that had a baby with him. He had a little baby. She might have been 6 or 7 years old, right? But he had an ex-wife that he had been divorced from for years that he had kids with. Yeah. And so when he died, right? How does the story go? When he died, the ex-wife was entitled to everything. She got everything. But she let the girlfriend stay in the house for a little while, right? And so the girlfriend created her lawsuit saying, this is baby, we entitled to this, right? Now, I may have the story a little bit mixed up, but man, if y'all ain't got, just go research it. And so she took the wife to court, right? Well, come to find out, the baby was not his baby. She didn't get nothing. But she had been with him for years.
I got you.
And didn't get nothing.
Wow.
Because she had no legal documentation to say that she was a part of what's going on. And so the wife walked away, kicked out the house, and walked away with everything. You see what I'm saying?
And what Barry White should have did, he should have had a will.
Should have had a will and a trust in place. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't do it, man. It's inexpensive. You can get it through a subscription, a monthly subscription, paying $30, $70 a month, all about what you need. But they'll write them up and make them for you and stuff like that. But yeah, Barry White, man, he went through that, man. I have a personal story where a client of mine from when I was in the gym, man, she was an older lady, and her brother died. Her brother-in-law died. And man, it's gonna flip you out right here in Huntsville, man. He was in the 70s. And he passed away. He owned 2 businesses. He had like 3 houses, right? No kids, right? But before he died, he had a little girlfriend. He was telling about everything. And he told his girlfriend, hey, look, I used to date this woman. She had a little girl. I called her my little girl. Well, when he died, the girlfriend went and found the little girl, which was a 40-year-old woman. Guess where she was living? Where? In Georgia State Prison.
Wow.
Right?
Okay.
This little girl, this prisoner turned around, hired her a lawyer, was not blood relative at all, and put a stop to everything that family had going on.
Yeah. Just because she can wrap it up in clays.
I went to one of the houses to help my client clean up and stuff.
Yeah.
And at that house, it was 3 cars, a pickup truck, a 4-wheeler, a Harley Davidson in the garage.
Come on.
Nice house house set up on the mountain up there.
Yeah.
She got out of prison, got all that stuff.
Wow.
No legal documentation, man.
Yeah.
So again, that's what's important for us, man. Ain't gonna hold you up on that. But then the final stage, man, everybody should have a way to bring in extra income in their house. You know, with the work environment being so vulnerable, man, with so many African American females that done lost jobs, right? Even African American males. But man, today in 2026, it makes sense to have an extra income source. And when I say extra income source, everybody should be looking at a business opportunity. You see what I'm saying? I don't care if you're doing hair, if you're cutting grass, if you selling makeup, insurance, whatever it is, you should be focused on getting your 1099 business. You see what I'm saying? So that way, number one, you can save money on taxes, but then number two, you always have something that you can fall back on. Yep. So that's the financial house, man, from the bottom to the top. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I think the other question I was going to ask you about is the platform that you're building to highlight entrepreneurs and highlight other professionals here in the city. Talk a little bit about that.
So it's me. It's me, Huntsville. It's me, Huntsville, Madison. That's basically a Facebook page. It's brand new. Okay, where I'm highlighting business owners, African American business owners here in the city. Reason why, you know, I'm a business owner, right? And one of the things that I want is everybody to know who I am. It's me. If you get a text message from me, it's gonna say, "Hey man, it's me, Shawn Mitchell." You know, if you get an email from me, it's me, Shawn Mitchell. I want you to know who I am, right? I want you to know how to get in contact with me. I want you to know the services that I provide. Well, that's every entrepreneur. That's every business owner, right? You know, but they don't have a platform to do it. And so living here in Huntsville, you know, knowing that it's a city that's growing or continues to grow, people move here. They want to know where they can go get services. You see what I'm saying? Especially amongst African Americans, you know, with everything going on, the Chinese guy on TV, on the internet talking about, you know, we need them and stuff like that. And, you know, how people are treating us these days. And so I want people to know where they can go get services from. Not just, you know, and not just hairstylists, not just people cooking food. It's nothing wrong with those things because I eat the food. And if I had hair, I get the hair done, right? You see? But, you know, I want them to meet, you know, for an example, I introduce, let me cut this off. For an example, I introduce, both of us going on. For example, I had a lady, man, in Madison, Alabama, man, that has a dry cleaners. It's an African-American couple that has a dry cleaners on Wall Triana in Madison, Alabama. You know, I knew a African-American couple that had a dentist, like I guess they made dentures, you know. And so, man, it's all type of Black folks doing great things, man. You know, and again, there's nothing wrong with the hairstylists. There's nothing wrong with the people that's cook, but that cook. But man, look, let's get some of these other folks out. So so if you need your clothes to be dry clean, you know, and you live up there, you wouldn't believe when I posted her how many people, you know, may have text me or responded on the page and said, "Oh man, I live right around the corner from now. I didn't know that was right there." So, you know, let's put these people, my goal is to put these people out so that folks will know who to see. But let's go to church. Basically almost the same thing. You know, people live here in Huntsville. People are moving here to Huntsville, right? And they want to know where they can go fellowship and service, right? And so This is basically a way to highlight churches, not to critique them. So I won't be saying, oh man, the choir is horrible, or the parking is horrible. No, you're not gonna get that from me. I'm not the church critic. You know what I'm saying? That's not what it's designed for. It's designed for if you here visiting Huntsville or Madison, or if you live here and you just want to find a place where you fit in and worship, where you can fit in and worship. That's what I want to show. I want to show you, a little bit of the church without putting so much of the people in there. I want to tell you how everybody's dressed, right? You make your churches, man, they dress to the nine, but everybody tell you come as you are, right? And so you don't want to be in one of those positions, because we done been in plenty of them, me and my wife, where, someone said, hey, come as you are. And we get there and the women got the big hats on and the dudes got the three. Easter Sunday on any Sunday. And so sharing with people the attire, sharing with people, man, if it's a choir or if it's a praise team, sharing with people what is childcare, sharing with people what the parking lot look like, because you want to, I don't know about I know as everybody, you want to, if you visited a church, you don't want no surprises. You don't want to be in there, and because I dress like this all the time, you want to be in there polo khakis and some casual shoes, and everybody else got on, because I can wear a suit. That's what I tell everybody, you know what I'm saying? But, I want, that's sole purpose of that, man, for they can find these people, man, find these churches, and, man, and go worship, man, for real. Because it's a lot of great churches here in Huntsville. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What do you think makes, and this is going to be my last question. Well, I got two more questions. I'm just going to be one of my last ones. But what do you think makes Huntsville so special? I know you said people are moving here. There's a lot going on, but what do you think makes Huntsville special?
I would say the growth is a factor, but the newness of the people. You see what I'm saying? Meaning everybody's moving here with a purpose. You meet the government people, right? And they know what they're here for. Years ago, you meet them, they streamline, they're going to be on the base. They're only going to deal with they people, but now you got people just moving here. You see what I'm saying? They moving here to work for Amazon. They moving here to work for the FBI. They moving here, you know what I'm saying? So they're more open and outward. You see what I'm saying? Compared to everyone else. So, man, I love and I'm pretty sure it's the same way with everybody else that's moving here. I like the people, man. I told you my office was on Sparkman Drive across the street from Walmart. And I used to love a Saturday morning during football season, where the car wash right there, it was full of cars and everybody was washing their cars and you hear everybody bumping their music, right? You walk out the door, it smell like barbecue and weed. That's what I tell everybody. It's just the whole Walmart parking. Like you'll see no grills at Walmart, but it smell like barbecue and weed. You know that? And everybody driving through and you walk in Walmart and everybody got on their A&M gear, man. And, people just excited, giving each other high fives and speaking to each other, man. And Oakwood, when they have their homecoming, man, people just don't know how big that is. That's a big deal, and so you see that I think the whole HBCU thing plays a big role in the city of Huntsville and people moving here and the personality that it has. I always say it's nothing like North Huntsville. I believe that people do not sell North Huntsville enough.
I agree.
You see what I'm saying? It's beautiful homes over here, beautiful communities, nice schools. I know they got to fix some things in the schools with behavior, but hey, man, that could be at any school, But it's nothing like North Huntsville, man. My wife used to ask me because she didn't, get around the city the way I get around. And she used to say, what's the difference between North Huntsville and South Huntsville? I said, it ain't. Same houses, right? It's a bad part of South Huntsville, like it's a bad part of North Huntsville. Just maybe some people they be a different color. It's more black folks than it is white. But then white folks down here is Mexicans. They all over. You see what I'm saying? So it's a mixture where down there it's more white people. But man, no matter what, it was good folks down there, friendly folks down there. But it ain't nothing like North Huntsville. I don't care what nobody say. You see what I'm saying, man? It's some good folks, man. You know what I'm saying? When you can walk through Walmart. And man, you can see people smiling and enjoying it, man. Yeah. Wait till football season. I ain't never. How many games I've been to? Like 2 games. I never had the time to go. Yeah. But I love being over here during football season, man.
You know, this weekend they got June Fest going on. That's gonna be it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be amazing. The June Fest is gonna be amazing. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. Because they're gonna have all type of cars at the Milton Frank Stadium. They're gonna have all type of it's a T.I. and PSC coming down, so I'm looking forward to all of that.
You going out, man.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to go out. I think I gotta work Saturday. I gotta do some videography stuff on Saturday.
For real?
I'm gonna be out there though.
You're gonna be out there. Man, it ain't it's nothing like North Huntsville. Right. You know, when I hear people perception of it, it's most time people that grew up here. You know, it's kind of like where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? If you lived on 15th Street, you don't want to live there where you grown because ain't nothing going on over there. You see what I'm saying? So it's the same way they lived out here. And, you know, man, they ain't finna live over there. I'm finna go to Harvard. I'm finna go to Madison. You know, you big now. You know what I'm saying? But it's still home, man. It's still home. Ain't nothing no better on South than it is. They just got more stores.
Come on, man. You saying something so heavy right now, man. And you know I'm from Huntsville, so I know exactly what you're saying. You don't have to leave North Huntsville to get something better.
That's it.
You can build up North Huntsville right here in North Huntsville.
And look at all the communities that's popping up. Look at that new Target that they're going to put down there, and Home Depot and all that stuff. Right there, Food City. Right. Man, can you imagine how many houses and apartments finna go right there? They shooting that highway through there. Yeah. It's crazy. I live in Meridianville, man. We be sitting in traffic just to get to our little neighborhood. I remember I used to just drive straight to Tennessee. Like,
right.
5 minutes. Like, man, now you sitting there in traffic, man. It's worse. It's almost worse right there going into Meridianville than it is being on 72 going into Madison. Yeah. And you know, that's horrible. Yeah, 2 lanes.
It's terrible going.
Everybody do, man.
Nah, that's what's up, man. So let me ask you this. Where can people reach you, Shawn? If they want to get in touch with you, how can they get in touch with you?
So, hey, look, you can always just hit me up on Facebook. I'm Shawn Mitchell on Facebook, on Instagram. On Instagram, you can find me at How Money Work with Shawn. On YouTube, just look up Shawn Mitchell. I'm not hard to find. When you look at the stuff, you see the picture, you know, we all the same. Big bald-headed black dude with a beard, right? And so you can hit me up there, or you can actually email me at s.mitch, M-I-T-C-H 252 at yahoo.com. Okay. And so any social media platform, just look up Shawn Mitchell. The It's Me is ITS me, M-E - Huntsville. You can go onto that page. LinkedIn, most definitely the best way to get with me is on LinkedIn. Is to hit me up on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn, Shawn Mitchell, and Facebook, Shawn Mitchell. You can get to me quicker and faster. But hey, I'm always available for podcasts. I'm available for in-persons. You know, I speak at churches. I speak to youth. You know, it's all about educating and teaching to me. You know, I feel like once you have the information, you can make the best decision for yourself, and you make the best decision for your family. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, man, Shawn Mitchell, I appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you coming through, man.
That's what we do. That's what we do. That's what we do.
You know what I mean? Like I always tell everybody, man, Shawn Mitchell, you are a visionary. That's what's up. You know what I'm saying? Welcome. Appreciate you joining the Visionary family, man. We enjoyed the conversation. Look forward to speaking with you more later on in the future, man.
That's what we gonna do.
That, man. Y'all keep building, keep growing, keep doing what you're supposed to be doing. We pushing this Velvet Visionaires to the next level, man. We building.